Welcome to the Unraveling the Scriptures channel. Afghanistan was once considered by many in the past the heart of Asia. And not without reason. Its strategic location made it a true crossroads of empires, cultures, and civilizations throughout history. But have you ever stopped to think about who the Afghans really are? Where do they come from? What are the true origins of this people who have survived countless invasions and transformations? In today's video, we will dive deep into the history of Afghanistan and its people. We will explore their roots, their mysterious connections to ancient civilizations, and even what sacred scriptures can reveal about their identity. So, before we begin, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and share this video so more people can learn about this fascinating history. This is another chapter in our series, The Origin of the Peoples According to the Bible. Afghanistan, officially known as the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, is a landlocked country located at the crossroads of Central Asia and South Asia. It borders Pakistan to the east and south, Iran to the west, Turkmenistan to the northwest, Uzbekistan to the north, Tajikistan to the northeast, and China to the northeast and east. Afghanistan's territory is predominantly mountainous, marked by the imposing Hindu Kush mountain range, which cuts the country from northeast to southwest. However, there are also vast fertile plains to the north and southwest, playing a crucial role in local agriculture and economy. The capital and largest city of Afghanistan is Kabul, a historic and cultural hub that was once a strategic point along the ancient Silk Road trade routes. The country has a population of approximately 35 million people, consisting of a significant ethnic diversity. The Pashtuns are the predominant group, making up about 42% of the population. Next, the Tajiks make up approximately 27% of the total. The Hazara, a historically marginalized group, represent 9%, while Uzbeks also make up 9% of the population. Other groups include the Turkmen 3% and Baluchis 2%, in addition to small communities of other ethnicities. In addition to its challenging geography and cultural diversity, Afghanistan has a rich history, marked by ancient civilizations, powerful empires, and geopolitical conflicts that have shaped its identity over the centuries. About 73% of the Afghan population belongs to groups of ancient Aryan origin, also known as Indo-Aryans. These peoples are part of the Indo-European family, linguistically and historically connected to civilizations that spread throughout the Middle East, South Asia, and Europe over millennia. Biblically, these groups are considered descendants of Madai, the son of Japheth, and therefore belong to the Japhethite lineage. In addition to the Indo-Aryan peoples, about 21% of the Afghan population has roots in Turkic populations, whose ancestral origins trace back to East Asia. This genetic heritage explains why some ethnic groups in the region display Asian features, such as almond-shaped eyes and extremely straight hair. Historically known as the graveyard of empires, Afghanistan has been the stage for countless invasions and battles throughout the centuries. Persians, Greeks, Mongols, Arabs, and Britons attempted to dominate its lands, only to be challenged by the fierce resistance of its people. It is worth highlighting that, due to its Indo-Aryan origin, most Afghans have deep historical and cultural ties with the Persians. These peoples share linguistic and genetic roots, often being considered brothers within the broader spectrum of ancient Persian civilizations. In addition to Persian influence, Afghanistan has also been the site of invasions and dominations by some of the most powerful forces in history. Alexander the Great, the Maurya Empire, the Arab Muslims, the Mongols, the British, the Soviet Union, and more recently, the coalition led by the United States are among the powers that attempted to control this strategic land throughout the centuries. However, Afghanistan was not only a territory to be conquered, it also served as the birthplace of civilizations and empires. It was from this region that the Greco-Bactrians and the Mongols, among others, emerged, shaping world history. The confluence of conquests and cultural influences over millennia made Afghanistan a meeting point between Iranian and Indian traditions. As a result, the region became a spiritual and philosophical center of great importance, home to traditions such as Zoroastrianism, Buddhism, Hinduism, and later becoming one of the main strongholds of Islam. The etymology of the name Afghanistan also carries traces of its rich history. Some scholars suggest that the root of the word Afghan comes from the Sanskrit term Ashvakan, which referred to the ancient inhabitants of the Hindu Kush region. The literal meaning of Ashvakan is horsemen, horse breeders, or simply cavalry warriors, derived from the word Ashva, which in Sanskrit and Avestan means horse. This name reinforces the idea that the people of the region were known not only for their bravery in battle, but also for their strong equestrian tradition, essential both in warfare and local culture. It is important to remember that 73% of Afghanistan's population shares a common origin with the ancient Persians. These groups are Indo-Aryans, part of the large Iranian family of peoples. The Aryans were the first to domesticate horses, a crucial achievement that transformed warfare, trade, and mobility in the ancient world. Their direct ancestors, the Yamnaya people, were responsible for this domestication, which gave them a strategic advantage that shaped the rise of their civilizations. Historically, the term Afghan was specifically used to refer to the Pashtuns, the largest ethnic group in the country. The Arabic and Persian form of this name, Afghan, first appeared in the 10th century in the geographical book Hudud al-Alam. The word Afghanistan is composed of two elements: Afghan, referring to the Pashtuns, who have dominated the region for centuries; Stan, a Persian suffix meaning land of or place of. Therefore, Afghanistan literally translates to land of the Afghans or land of the Pashtuns, reflecting the central role of this group in the country's historical and cultural identity. The official languages of Afghanistan are Pashto and Dari, both widely spoken throughout the country. However, the region's linguistic diversity is notable, with the presence of various dialects and minority languages, such as Uzbek, Turkmen, Balochi, Pashai, and Nuristani, reflecting the country's complex ethnic and cultural composition. After 2000 BC, successive waves of semi-nomadic peoples from Central Asia began migrating south, occupying the territory we now know as Afghanistan. Among these groups were many Indo-Iranians, speakers of Indo-European languages, who later expanded their presence into South Asia, the Middle East, and even Europe, crossing the vast steppes to the north of the Caspian Sea. At that time, the region was known as Ariana, a name that appears in ancient sources and refers to the territory inhabited by the Aryan peoples. Ariana was an important center of trade and culture, connecting the routes between India, Persia, Mesopotamia, and the lands of Central Asia. Around 550 BC, the powerful Achaemenid Empire, led by Cyrus the Great, defeated the Medes and annexed vast territories, including Arachosia, Arya, and Bactria, regions that today form part of Afghanistan. During the reign of Darius I, these lands were officially incorporated into the Persian Empire. An inscription found on the tomb of Darius in Persepolis mentions the Kabul Valley as one of the 29 territories conquered by the Persians, highlighting the strategic importance of the region. Arachosia, located in the area of present-day Kandahar, was an important cultural and religious center of the time. Zoroastrianism, the religion founded by Zoroaster, flourished in this region, and it is believed that the Avesta, the sacred book of the Zoroastrians, was preserved and transmitted from Arachosia to Persia, making Afghanistan one of the spiritual cradles of this faith. For this reason, some historians refer to Arachosia as the second homeland of Zoroastrianism. Moreover, Afghanistan's geographical position made it a point of convergence for different empires and civilizations, from the Persians and Greeks to the Mongols and the British, ensuring that its history was marked by a constant flow of conquests, resistance, and cultural exchange. In 330 BC, Alexander the Great and his Macedonian forces invaded Afghanistan after defeating the Persian king Darius III in the famous Battle of Gaugamela the previous year. After a brief occupation by Alexander, the region came under the control of the Seleucid Empire, the successor of the Macedonian Empire, until 305 BC, when it was largely ceded to the Maurya Empire as a result of a treaty of alliance between the two empires. There is a theory, which I consider completely unfounded, that claims the populations of this region, characterized by traits like blonde or red hair, blue eyes, and fair skin, would be descendants of the Greek soldiers of Alexander the Great. However, this idea has no basis in reality. In fact, the Indo-Aryan populations, or simply Aryans, already possessed these traits naturally. Blonde, brown, and even red hair, along with green and blue eyes, are common characteristics of Aryan populations, who belong to the Indo-European group. The Greeks, like many other Indo-European peoples, also shared these traits, demonstrating that the origin of these characteristics is much more related to the ethnicity and ancestry of the populations in the region, and not to a supposed direct descent from Macedonian soldiers. Such a theory is an attempt to simplify and distort the complexity of historical and genetic relationships, ignoring the deep roots of the peoples who inhabit and their varied origins, which date back millennia of history and migrations. In other words, it is not the presence of Alexander the Great's soldiers in the region that would explain the physical traits of much of the population, as some theories claim. This is in fact a fallacy, a misguided idea. Afghans already possess these traits by themselves, as part of their ancestry and genetics. The diversity in Afghanistan goes beyond physical features, also reflecting the cultural diversity of its various regions. Afghan society is deeply marked by the family structure, and the family is the fundamental pillar of social life. Often, these families are headed by a patriarch, with a strong sense of respect and authority. In the southern and eastern regions, people follow Pashtun culture, which is based on the principles of Pakhtunwali, or the Pashtun way. This cultural code includes values like hospitality, protection for those seeking refuge, and the pursuit of vengeance in cases of bloodshed, a steadfast honor passed down from generation to generation. The origin of the Afghan people is much more complex and multifaceted than one might initially imagine, reflecting the rich historical and cultural tapestry of this region. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please leave your comments below. I'm curious to know what videos you would like to see, which themes or peoples you would like me to explore. God bless you all, and I'll see you soon.